Hello bookworms, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. See if I can get that unblurry. I'm not exactly sure how you say her last name. Shiver. I borrowed this from my public library. It's in the young adult section. From the Kindale Library here in Stephenville, Newfoundland. I have Tyson with me. My other kitty. You've met Rye several times, but Tyson hasn't been in my videos because he's kind of shy. He just likes to sleep. They are old, my old boys. I will read the inside for you. The Cold. Grace has spent years watching the wolves in the woods behind her house. One yellow-eyed wolf, her wolf, watches back. He feels deeply familiar to her, and she doesn't know why. The heat. Sam has lived two lives. As a wolf, he keeps the silent company of the girl he loves, and then for a short time each year he is human, never daring to talk to Grace until now. The Shiver. For Grace and Sam, love has always been kept at a distance, but once it's spoken, it cannot be denied. Sam must fight to stay human, and Grace must fight to keep him, even if it means taking on the scars of the past and the fragility of the present and the impossibility of the future. That last bit was a little hard to read because the tree pattern that's in the cover goes through the words that I was just reading here. That's why I was sort of all over the place. So this book is about werewolves. Grace and Sam are the two main characters, and Grace has a couple of friends. Olivia and Rachel are her two best friends. You meet her parents as well, and a couple of other people from school, Isabel and Jack, and their brother and sister, and a few of the other wolves. Now let's see if I can remember the name. I just read it and I'm already forgetting names. Beck. Beck is one of Sam's wolf packmates. He also introduced us to several of the other packmates, but Beck is the only kind of important one in this. It's written from either Grace's point of view or Sam's point of view, so the chapters go back and forth between Grace and Sam, sometimes more from Grace, like there'll be more like 2 in a row or 3 in a row from Grace, and vice versa, like that, in first person for both of them, which I like. It is age rating, I would say 12 or 13 plus, depending on the maturity of the person. There's a lot of makeout scenes, but it's closed door for anything serious. There's no details or anything like that, but it is a romance as well as about werewolves. Like, obviously Sam and Grace are in love and have been even when Sam is a werewolf. I like this because it's a different take on werewolves. It's not like Twilight werewolves or some of the other werewolf books you may have read in the past. I've never read one that's quite like this, which is very interesting. It is the first of a trilogy. There was a few things that I found predictable. I did figure out some things to a point. Like, I figured out some of it, but not like the whole. I don't know how to say it without giving something away, so I'm trying to think what I could compare it to. No, I'm coming up blank. But yeah, there's some things that I kind of partially figured out, but not the whole problem solved, if that makes any sense. I didn't feel too predictable, and I felt that the pace was good. I absolutely found it to be a page turner. I couldn't put it down. I started reading this yesterday evening. So I read it in less than 24 hours. It is a weekend, and I did have today off, and I literally spent most of it reading. And I stayed up way too late last night reading it as well. I easily got a third of the way through it last night, and I started reading it, I don't know, maybe. Well, no, I started reading it yesterday afternoon, but I only read like a couple chapters, and then from 7 o'clock at night. Yeah, anyway. Almost 24, a little bit more than 24 hours. I'm rambling. I ramble a lot. You guys are used to me rambling. I do it way too much. Besides it being a different werewolf look, I didn't really find it like any twists or anything in there. There is the one bed trope, but they make it obvious. It's not like it's I don't know, because Sam doesn't really have somewhere else to go. Grace doesn't want to leave, so they kind of share her bed because there's no other way to do it. She doesn't want him sleeping on the floor. There's nowhere else for him to stay in her house. But that's not really giving anything away per se. Definitely emotions. There was shock. There was sad and upset and frustration, anger at some of the characters when you find out some of the things they've done. Funny moments for sure. Happy moments. Very happy moments. The bubbly, happy feeling inside. I'm trying to think of what books I can compare it to. It's the writing style reminds me a little of The Cruel Prince, but it's not exactly the same. Because it's real world with a little bit of supernatural mixed in, so kind of like Twilight. But like I said, different kind of werewolf. And Grace is not like Bella. She's not like Bella. I don't want to compare her to Bella, but it is similar to Twilight. Trying to think what else it's similar to besides not like Ready Player One. See, here's the thing: is some of the books that I have here, I don't even have all my books here, so I can't really compare it. It does remind me, except that's not paranormal. One of the other books I read. The Lives of Desperate Girls by Mackenzie Common. It's got a similar writing style to that, but again, it's the one I just mentioned. The Lives of Desperate Girls is not paranormal. It's more of like a mystery set in the real world. There's no magic or anything involved like that, but the writing style is very similar. I liked the ending. I was a little sad coming up to it because I thought it was going to end me with a cliffhanger to lead into the next book. But this one had a satisfying ending, and it wrapped up things for this book. You could leave it standalone and not read the rest of them and probably be satisfied. I want to read the next one and see what else happens, though. But yeah, you could read it as a standalone and be happy. But I kind of want to keep going because it was a fast kind of wrap up. I absolutely love this book. Like I said, I read it really fast. It wasn't stereotypical at all. It was different than anything I've read. It was great writing. The characters were relatable and believable, and you felt connected to them. The plot was, I wouldn't call it complex, as some of the plots of books I've read are very complex. This one was a little more simpler, but it might get more complicated later on in the storyline. I don't know. But that's not the important, it was complex enough for this book, and for the age target for it, for preteens and teenagers, it's plenty complicated enough for that. And it left me thinking, because like I said, it is different than the normal werewolf paranormal kind of book. and I do care for them, and I do want to know what happens to them. So that makes me happy. I said I could not put it down, and I think I do want to own them. I really did enjoy them a lot. So even though I borrowed these ones from the library, I might end up ordering them all just because. So a definite 5 out of 5 stars. All the emotions, relatable characters, good writing, very well done. I really liked it. It would be interesting to be turned into a TV show. And something I mentioned in one of my other videos is how when you're reading a book, like, you get like absorbed into it. And I felt that too, because one of the things that's important in this book is temperature for the wolves. And yeah, like when they were talking about being too cold, like I was cold too. Although it is November here, and it does get, obviously it gets chilly where we are in Canada. I was cold, but I feel part of it had to do with the book. Anyway, highly, highly recommend. Definitely check it out. And I will be doing the videos for the next books so you can see what the next ones are about. I hope you enjoyed that video. Like and subscribe and click the notifications button so you know when I do my next videos. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.